We're here today in this beautiful restaurant, the Bog Barley, chosen by our first guest, Stephen Glass, for our new series, Page to Plate, where we'll have conversations with Memphis 901 FC soccer stars. Let's jump right into it.
Pre-season's been really good so far. I think we were fortunate to miss the worst of the weather when we arrived. We had a delay by a day or two, but since we've trained, the weather's been nice, the training pitches have been brilliant, and the group's coming together really well as well, which is always nice. A lot of new faces, and we're pleased with how they're settling in so far. I think all of them. I think every one of them that we've signed has been they were very forward in the fact that they wanted to come and play for Memphis. The ones that we recruited, they had choices of clubs that they wanted to go to, that wanted them, as well, and they chose to come and play for us. And I think the way that we recruited from early was very good, identified some players very early and got on with that, myself and Caleb and Tim. So we were very, very active early because we knew a lot of guys probably didn't want to be here this year, but to look at replacing them quite early, we were aware of it, so it's been good. Yeah, you obviously identify the positions that you need to replace, the type of players you need to replace, and the people that you're going to bring in. So we were very active in getting on Zoom calls with players. After Caleb and Tim and myself, we would identify the type of player through using some data and things like that, through the eye test that we always do, and then thinking which, maybe 3, 4, 5 for a certain position, then we make our choice on which one that we want. Very much a team effort on that, because we're all going to work with them ultimately. So it's been important that we were all on the same page, very aligned, and on it from probably as early as September, October, because we were knowing who we were going to have to replace. So start identifying targets, then start really talking to them and nailing it down, and then you're hoping that they choose you. But I think the pitch that we put to them, obviously they're coming to represent the city, and every player that we talked to was very keen on coming and being a part of that, which was important to us. Hopefully that we actually win the whole thing. I think we got close last year. I think we had a group that we felt could win the whole thing last year, and we were unfortunate to lose on penalty kicks. But that can happen to anyone at any time, and I think there was a real disappointment in the group. But we have to use that to fuel ourselves this year. We believe we've added guys that are still hungry. Some of them have come in having won the whole thing before. Some are younger, trying to boost their careers. And I think we've got a group I think it's probably more ready to win the whole thing this year. Despite having a good group last year, we think we've got a better group than we did last year. Yeah, I think anybody that comes to watch us this year, I think the fans were pleased with the fight that they saw in the group last year, and that'll never go away for a team that, well, guys like myself and Caleb are working and pushing. I don't think you'll see a team that doesn't fight. I think that's very evident. And that's the first thing that people will see when they come, and it's why we recruited the type of people we did that want to be here and play for Memphis. So that's hugely, hugely important, and I think the people that come to watch us that love the team will see that. They're going to see us a little bit more active in the community, I think, this year, which is good. And just in general, you'll see a happy group that's trying to win football matches, and I think that's always important when people are paying to come along and watch and support their team, and we're proud to represent that. The first game in pre-season was brilliant for us. I think we knew it was going to be a huge test. When we agreed to go and take part in the game, we were invited to go along and do it, so it was important we go and represent ourselves in the league and the club. We knew we were 2 weeks behind Atlanta. You're going in 2 weeks behind against a team of top professionals that are hugely paid, that cost them a lot of money, so we knew the test was going to be huge for our players. But they came through it with flying colours. I think we were looking to play 45 minutes for the whole group. Turkey ends up playing 80 minutes, which was incredible. I don't think there wasn't a player on their side that played 80 minutes. So I think Lucas, to be able to do that was brilliant. Shows the work that they did in the off-season. But I think to be able to go on the road, have a trip together, it's great for team bonding. It's good for preparing for the season. And I think it shows how professional the lads were in the off-season, based on Leandro's off-season programming and things like that's optional, but you can give players an option. They can take it or not take it. The boys obviously chose to take it. So it was a good showing. The result was irrelevant. win or lose, it was irrelevant. You can go there and you can get smashed, but we competed very well, we performed very well, and we were all delighted with the outcome. The USL's shown that it's a great place for players to come and grow. I think young ones can do it, experienced ones can come and do it. We've got a different range ourselves. We've seen clubs throughout the league putting players to different places. We've got some real young talents ourselves that we know there's a lot of clubs looking at. We've got guys like Emerson that's chosen to come here as his next step in his career. And even guys that left us last year, we were aware of the fact that someone like Jeremy Kelly was looking to go to Europe. So myself and Caleb managed to facilitate that. We were on Zoom calls with their manager, telling them what Jeremy would offer them, and ultimately Jeremy ends up going to play in England, which he was excited about at the time. I think it took a little bit longer than he wanted to get over the line, but I think the initial introduction and how we put it to the coaches and their management and their ownership was really important, and Jeremy getting that opportunity. We see ourselves as the club that can provide that platform for players, and I think you've got to go into it knowing that you're bringing players in that I don't think they're going to be in the USL or any club for 5, 6, 7 years. So we can offer that platform for players with our contacts, and how we drive them and how we make them better footballers. And ultimately the proof's in the pudding. Does it happen or not? And I think we've already shown at this club that it does, and I think we'll continue to show that with the boys that we've signed and have here and have moved on. I think the young players at our club have got a big opportunity. I think there's a lot of eyes on them. I think people in the league know them. I think obviously Tim's got a huge profile as a sporting director. Caleb's played in Portugal and Canada and MLS. I've been fortunate to coach and manage in Europe and over here. So I think people know that our club's doing things the right way, and it gives our players opportunities to go and progress their careers as well. And they also know that we're here for that reason, to help players progress their career. We're here to try and win and do the best we can, but at the same time we're here to help players progress their careers, and we're excited about that opportunity to provide that platform for players. My favourite restaurant in Memphis is the Bog Barley. It's a brilliant place. I was lucky to come here for Burns night, and I actually said to DJ, "You've managed to make my wife homesick after 1 week," because they had the bagpipes, they had the Burns night, they had whiskey. So anytime you come here is brilliant. You're never disappointed when you go to the Bog Barley. Favourite thing on the menu at Bog Barley is probably the fish and chips, but it's a tough thing to narrow it down to one because the menu's so good. Anytime you come, you've got a choice, and I'm not great at choosing in restaurants anyway, so that makes it difficult. And any of the desserts as well. You could go blind and pick one dessert, and that would be my favourite as well. I enjoyed the first season hugely in Memphis as well. The people I work with, basically the process that we go through and how we work, how we attract players has been brilliant. Worked really closely with Caleb, worked really closely with Tim. I think that's been very fruitful in terms of when we managed to recruit players and attract players, so that's been enormous actually. And also the space that you get to work. You don't get it everywhere, and I don't think every club offers you it. We know that obviously the business side of the club is there always at any club, and the football side's there. And I think being left to your own devices within reason, the fact that the assistant sporting director's on the pitch every day is huge, and Tim's always there with his knowledge, and he's a shoulder to lean on. So having the space to work has been brilliant for me in Memphis as well, and I'm really enjoying it.